Welcome to our wine drinking hour, you guys, where we get to talk all things fun about wine, food pairings, about our amazing opportunity that we have, and then different updates and things going on within our lovely community here. So I would love to introduce our MSI that is in charge of our wine. She runs it with me, and I love her so much. It's Jacqualyn Bellavia. Jackie, you might go ahead and take it away.
Well, thank you, Tanya. Appreciate your kind words, my friend. Well, welcome everybody. This morning is June 24th, and we are going to kick off today with what we call our Saturday wine brunch. We absolutely love this hour. We always have one of our students to feature a dish with a pairing of our wines. And today we have a fabulous, wonderful lady. I absolutely love her. She is going to be featuring two of our wines today. She has prepared a dish that is absolutely wonderful. She wrote a page about it. We will share that page with you a little bit later in the chat so that you can click on it and get the yummy recipe and pair it yourself. But we have Angie Bond with us today. She is one of our GSIs, and her MSI is my friend from Canada, Deanna Young. And so Angie has a great surprise for us today. So Angie, take it away, sweetheart.
I have today, I made a spinach and why is that not going now? I froze up. Spinach and cheese quiche. Can you see it?
Yes, and it looks delicious.
Okay.
It absolutely looks delicious.
About 10 minutes out of the oven, so it's still nice and hot.
That's the best way to have quiche.
Yeah, right? So, when I was looking on the internet for recipes and kind of how, because I've never made one. So again, I'm doing something I've never done before. I always like to do that, right? But I've had this quiche dish forever that my mom gave me, and I wanted to try it to do that. And so when I was looking for recipes, they're all saying use store-bought pie crusts. And I was like, well, no, my mama taught me how to make pie crust. Why shouldn't I make my own? So in my page, you'll see that I gave you the recipe for my mama's pie crust too. But, and she said that the key to making it fluffy and flaky is using shortening and no butter. So that's a little treat I gave for you guys in my page. So anyway, so I got up early this morning and I've made a fresh homemade pie crust and the quiche, and it's got, let's see if I can get, there it goes, not frozen anymore. So we've got bacon, fresh bacon, we've got eggs, we've got heavy cream. So this is not a low fat recipe, guys. We have hot pepper sauce. We've got Worcestershire sauce. And however you say that.
I don't know anything that can ever even, I don't even know how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Right. That's how I grew up saying it. So that's what we're going to go with. Salt and pepper. And then a lot of the recipes called for frozen spinach. I chose to use fresh spinach because that's just me. But one of the things that I noticed in the recipes was if you use frozen spinach and thaw it out, make sure you get all of the moisture out, because that will
make it soggy.
Yeah, make it salty, make it and make your crust get all moist. It won't firm up when you're baking it. That's what I was trying to get at. And then you can use any kinds of cheeses. So a lot of them call for cheddar cheese. I decided I like light and white and creamy cheeses. So I chose Monterey Jack and mozzarella. And then I added green onions and Parmesan to top it. So I'm now going to cut into it and see what we got.
Absolutely. It sounds wonderful. Wish I was at your house.
All right, here we go.
And what you chose to pair it with is even better.
And, you know, I actually only have the Pinot Grigio today. I went running around the house hoping to find a bottle of Nile. I drank it all.
Well, I don't blame you. I don't know that any of it stays around very
I'm kind of obsessed with it. It's really, really good. So anytime we get a fresh bottle, we kind of open it right away. We love it. So I kind of went with it. So we're going to do
Tanya, Pinot Grigio is going to go real well with that.
I think it's going to go really, really well. Because as I was reading up on it, you know, the rich and creaminess of the cheeses are gonna pair super great with this. It's gonna bring out all of that. So far so good. It's cutting well. It's always a challenge when it's not falling apart.
That's a good thing.
That's a really good sign.
Oh, that is just beautiful.
Okay.
Somebody there to share that with you, sweetheart.
Okay. Well, let's open the wine here. Got my little tools. And I just put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes.
That's a cool wine opener.
Fork spin.
Absolutely. That is a really cool wine opener.
Handy dandy cork spin. Have it really close by all the time. Right.
You notice, guys, she said she chilled that wine for about 30 minutes, and then she's probably had it sitting out for about 15. And that is the best way to serve a white. You don't want your whites too cold, and you don't want them too warm. And so what the best practice for that is, and what you'll hear Rory and Tanya talk about, is you always chill it, and then you let it set for about 10, 15 minutes, and it is the perfect temperature that you want it to drink. And you don't typically have to aerate or decant a white wine. It's just not necessary. Tell me what you're tasting, sister.
I can definitely taste the cheeses and the egg flavors. Brings that out a lot. It's
Well,
really
with
good.
that particular wine, it's kind of fruit forward. It has a lot of pear, maybe apple coming out. That is what's happening there for you.
Yeah.
But the Tanya Pinot is, I just got to tell you, it's one of the favorites of the whites that we have, and I'm not quite for sure that we're going to have that varietal for very much longer, but it is just a wonderful wine though. And so it's a good wine that if you are just starting out, it's a light bodied wine.
It is.
And so it's something that you can start your palate. That's what wine education is all about, guys, is it's educating your palate and broadening your palate to understand and taste the different varietals that we have. And that wine right there is a very good one. So if you want to try it, you might want to get in the back office and get you some. So
yeah, this is really good with that.
The bacon that you have in there, or the spinach that you have in there. See, I think that's where the Nile would have come out.
Yes, and that is definitely the onion, and that's where I wish I could have gotten. I wish I had a bottle of it. Because that was where they were saying with the Pinot Noir, the bacon and the onion flavors are going to come out with the Pinot Noir. And I really want it. I was like, oh, please tell me I have a bottle of that downstairs.
Well, you can always freeze your peat, honey. Freeze your peats and then take it out.
I know. So, but it was super simple to make. It really didn't take long at all. And, you know, I actually had visions of doing like the little pie crusts and making it and freezing them and like being able to pull it out and just warm it up. I mean, I totally think that would be an easy breakfast.
Well, it absolutely looked delicious. You did a
Thank
great
you.
job. Thank
Tastes
you so much,
wonderful.
as we always love to have you on.
Thanks.
Let's talk just a little bit. Stay with me, Angie. You know, if this is your first time coming here, please get back with the person that invited you. But this wine club is all about wine education, and we talk about it a lot. We have a Monday night call that is what we call a wine opportunity call to learn more about, you know, how to get in and all those sorts of things. But what we like to highlight on this morning hour is about the wines themselves. If you have not been here before, just know our wines come from Napa and Sonoma Valley. We are a boutique winery. We because we have our grapes and cultivated with growers that are from generations, guys. They really understand what it means, the beauty to make this Lexer. And you hear us say a lot in comparison to the mass produced wines, there is no comparison because this is a true wine, whereas those are mass produced for a reason, for, you know, bottom line profits, or even, you know, for shelf lives, or they put a recipe so that they taste the same. Our wines will never taste the same. For instance, the wine that she has right now, if we were to get another varietal of that wine, it would taste totally different. And that's what it's supposed to do, because it is cultivated in what? The good earth. Depending on what the soil is that year, or the rainfall, or did California get fires that year, all that plays into how these wines are going to taste. But one thing that I will tell you is Roy and Tanya take great pride in how this club, it's a lifelong passion of theirs, that they wanted to own a winery and have vineyards, and they have been afforded that, and they are sharing that with us. But they are very, very careful not to pull those wines out of the barrels until they're ready. Many of our wines, I think it's a minimum of 3 years, and Rory's on here, he could correct me, but I think a minimum of 3 years, our wine stays naturally fermenting before they even think about trying it. Sometimes they have to stay longer because they're not quite ready to what they are looking for. But what we have, because they have chosen very carefully the growers and the makers of the wine that have done this for generations, that really cherish what the wine history means. We are very, very blessed to be part of that. And that's what our wine membership does for us. So just keep that in mind. So Roy, do you have anything to add?
I do. I'm going to go over it like you. So I get so inspired by the whole winemaking process, you guys. And you said like a minimum of 3 years. Let me explain the wine process. So the grapes, you can't just start out with new vines, right? So we have amazing contracts with the farmers that have been creating these incredible, bounties of grapes every year for decades. Okay. And a lot of the vines that we're pulling from are 25, 40, 50 years old, depending on what they are. The Zin come from even older vines. And if they're nurtured and cared for, they become more and more valuable because of the nutrients that feed into the grape to produce that wine, that wine grape, right? Whether it's the Pinot, the Syrah, whatever the varietal. And you guys, there's like 1,400 different types of grapes. Over like 1,400 like I don't know what you want to call it, varietals, I guess is the term, and they blend certain ones together. And there's some that go like old. I mean, this is something you can learn forever and never learn it all. It's so awesome. But that bottle of wine that you have, Angie, that Pinot Grigio usually takes about 2 years to make. The whites don't take as long. They don't have to build the legs and the contour of it. But that's 2 years from the time the fruit's been gathered and then put into the process. 2+ years. What you also need to put in account is that those, the watering, the climate, the love and care of those grapes prior to that nutrients coming out is about 6 years. So whatever grape come off the vine That's why you'll if you make wine out of new vines, it's not going to be good. It doesn't have the maturity to make the process work right. There's an absolute science to it, and so it's a minimum, right? It's a minimum of 6 years for that grape to be created that's then put into the wine based on the nutrients going into it, and the grapes that come off this year are really a derivative of 6+ years of creation. I'm trying to think how there's a better word for it, but that's what it is. So when you get that bottle of wine, so when Angie, that bottle of wine, that's 8 years in love and in care to get there. Minimum 8 years. Our reds are 3, 4, 5 years in production. So add 6 to that. And this is why those big companies come out there. They found a better way to make the wines quicker. And the better way means they add chemicals and they add additives that you would not want in your body. And it's for the cheaper chicken. They want to cut the corners of how wine's made. And because they do that, they have to add sulfites in it. And that's why sulfites is the one ingredient that has to be declared on a bottle of wine. They don't have to declare everything else in there. There's grapes, but you don't know what else is in there. They don't have to declare it. But they do have to declare sulfites because once they started putting artificial sulfites in there, they had to. Artificial sulfites don't have the best reaction to everybody's body. They're artificial. Our body doesn't break them down like a natural sulfite. So our wines, when they're made the right way, it's natural sulfites that are created in the fermentation process. We don't need to dump in chemicals because we let it naturally ferment, naturally create nature's sulfites, which are a preservative for the beverage. And it goes back even further. I actually I did a lot of research on this and I just went down to this amazing rabbit hole. And you guys should look into it. If it wasn't for wine and beer, we wouldn't even be alive today. The water, the disease and the stagnation and things that were in there literally created issues that was killing people. And the fermentation process done basically by monks saved our population. That's a fact. And there's a magical health benefits to that process. And it's something that we get, we're protecting, and it's something we're so passionate about because the conglomerates go and they go buy up all these boutiques because it's all about marketing, the power of marketing. If you have a great name, people are going to go, they're like, oh, that's a great wine. And the hibris gets out there, and that's how we buy. We understand marketing very well here. Mm-hmm. But what happens is once they buy it, it's no longer being made the boutique way. It's no longer being made with the care and the family name behind it. They just put it in the machine. They're kicking out a recipe, and it's going to taste the same year by year, and they have the same chemicals added to it, and it's not right. And we get to correct that. We're fighting to maintain that, and our customers get access to a true fine wine. There's a big movement. Now, I talked to you guys about some trend stuff. I'm going to go on a soapbox for a second, and we have new things we're bringing in under the DTC umbrella. But you guys, I always say all roads lead to wine. The wine process, the care behind it, everything that makes a true wine. I'm gonna mute out just a little bit. Let's see. Getting background noise somewhere. Jackie, I'm gonna mute you out for just 1 second, see if it makes it quieter. I don't know if it's where it's coming from. Okay. Here's some things. You guys, food is very important. Wine's a food, period. I'm telling you, wine's a food. All right. And it enhances other foods. It has a lot of roles, right? But it is an absolute God-given blessing of an elixir, and it's only good if it's made right. Right? Once we tweak it and not make it wine, it doesn't have those benefits. So all those wines you're going to basically get in the grocery store, they don't carry the same health benefits. They have stuff in them. Once you put those additives in, now you have to carry those on there too. And so a true wine, it helps us with heart disease, all sorts of things, ailments in our body. It literally is amazing what it does. And one of the biggest benefits that we get from it is the ability to de-stress and relax and a proper relaxation. When you take that element and you tweak it and you corrupt it, it's not good. Now in foods, they do all sorts of things with these additives, and I'm going to go into it. And this is going to sound really crazy unless you know. But once you go research it, you're going to find out that not only am I speaking truths, but it's worse than what I'm saying. Okay, it's worse. So the alcohol industry, including wine, right, and your spirits, there are bad characters in there, and they are literally putting additives that have been engineered by food scientists to make you addicted to it. So we're taking an addictive product, right? Naturally addictive. And it's an addictive in a great way. I'm gonna tell you this. I never heard anybody that I got to keep getting, I'm gonna go over personal experience. If it's whether it's whiskey, gin, vodka, tequila, if you see people just putting them back, that's never a good thing. There's a solid moderation in things, but proper spirits don't make you crave more and more and more. It does its purpose. It has its medicinal side. It has relaxation side, like a glass or two. But if you see people just putting down bottles, right, there's a problem. If anything, that drives moderation. And what happens is they put these chemicals into the spirits, into these wines to make people addicted to something. And then they say, well, wine's addictive anyway. Alcohol is addictive anyway. But what they're adding to it is creating bigger problems. And do the research on it. I mean, you can. And they disguise it very well. The FDA's allowed a lot of things to just happen. I don't understand why. If they're supposed to be protecting the population, and I'll go that far. But what I've noticed is, and I'm telling you this because as we've been working on other projects and our own spirits and everything else there that we'll bring under the umbrella, long-term processes, coloring, the caramel coloring in the whiskeys and stuff. That coloring is not just coloring; it has stuff in the coloring that makes you addictive. So they all use the same thing, so you'll buy more of that product. And it's not, it's not ethical, not in my opinion. But they're doing it because of greed, corporate greed. If I sell you more and you buy more, I make more money. And it's easier to get a customer to buy more than it is to get another customer. All right. We've seen it in all sorts of food areas. Okay. They do it. They manipulate our foods everywhere they can in the name of greed. And these are all these big conglomerates. The thing that gets scary is when you see how much of our food support, our food sources, our food supply comes from conglomerates doing the same thing with other foods, right? With honeys, with oils, there's a big, huge thing coming out now about avocado oils and how fake they are. They're not true avocado oils, and they put things in there that people buying avocado oil wouldn't be buying if they knew that was it. All sorts of things like that are happening. And the thing about us is, knowledge is part of marketing. Marketing is the conveyance of an idea or a solution. And there's enough problems with conglomerate processes that we can find solutions to take to the marketplace. They've given us our niche. They've created our niche. And we started with wine. We're gonna continue with wine, but we're also gonna be able to add other different food products and directions. And I'm really excited about it, and it's gonna catch on. And here's the thing is, when people are awakened to truth, it helps spread it, it grows, and we're all planting the seeds for growth from that today, tomorrow, as we keep putting this out there. And it all started with wine. Wine built this amazing opportunity and platform for us, and we'll continue to drive it. But it's unbelievable what we have here. So I'll turn it back to you on some things there. I could talk about wine, you guys, forever. Like, I could just keep going, but I'm so proud of what we get to do and what we get to share with the world and protect the boutique wineries and the true winemaking process so that it's not lost again like it was in Prohibition. And the rest of the world, they're having their same issues with the conglomerate stuff, and we'll grow to that. We'll expand as we do. But you know what? This is going to be a constant educational fight, if you will, to get it out there. People don't like to fight for change. And we knew when we did this, we needed to find a way to keep our wine price very competitive. And we got better than that because we went the direct to consumer way. We don't have retail space. We don't have multiple distribution points and multiple people that are along the way. Our wine is made in a very clean warehouse. It's gorgeous. And I love visiting it. The smell of wine being made is so good. I don't ever want to leave. So the wine's being made, it's cared for, and it's a very clean facility. It has to be. It's also bottled in the same facility. And then it goes from our truck to warehouse where it's shipped out, right? So it's stored in the warehouse and shipped from the warehouse, and that's who touches it. And it goes from there onto UPS trucks or the refrigerated partners, which is the time of year we're doing refrigerated trucking right now. So we're sending this awesome, perishable, valuable elixir of wine directly to the door, and we can do it at a fraction of the price it would be if they were to buy it in the retail channels, done the traditional way, not the direct to consumer way. That's how we're winning. That's how we're winning, and we're delivering a high quality product. So, you know, Angie, that bottle you're enjoying with that wonderful creation, that bottle has the most amazing amount of value, and you couldn't get it anywhere else but through us. And that's how we structured the whole opportunity too, is you can only get it through a wine ambassador or a referral from a customer who's connected to an ambassador. And we protect that from the core down. The company, you know, even those of us that are owners, we're owner operators. We are part of the whole process, and we focus on our marketing. We market with you. And, you know, you'll hear it all the time. And those that are, you know, fairly new, we fund the marketing to grow this in ways that we have proven that grows the customer's awareness and brings them in. And just happy everybody's here. All right, Jackie, I'll put it back to you, and you can unmute. I don't know where that background's coming from, but I'm probably gonna have some here too.
Okay.
Do you have background for me?
I'm not hearing any background, no.
This headset is gold. Okay, cool.
Okay, well, good, I need it. Well, thank you so much, Roy. You're always so enlightening to us. And we do try to keep this particular segment to about 30, 45 minutes. But what we're going to shift to, and Angie, I really, really want to thank you so much. I had posted your page. Guys, please make sure that you access her page. She has written a beautiful article around her recipe and even some family tips and tricks. But she did give you hints of how both the Now Eddie and the Tanya will pair with this dish. It seems absolutely phenomenal. So please try it and click on her page and learn all about that. So we do thank. Go ahead.
Both my husband and mother are eating right now, and they love it. So
I saw that. I saw you trying. I bet it was your husband saying, "I'm hungry and it's getting cold," and you're still on that call. So. And we appreciate him for giving us your time, and you go and enjoy your family. And we're going to switch gears just a little bit about the wine club itself and some housekeeping items that we like to go over. What we see it as, you know, tickets are coming in, or people are having issues with different things. And guys, you have to understand, we are a army of volunteers that do a lot of things behind the scenes to keep all the wheels running. The wine support line being one of them. And so if you or your students are having issues, and I hate to say this, many times when we look into it, it's user error. And so just be mindful that if you can't get in your account, or, you know, it is the summer, and the wine shipments could be delayed a bit. And the reason for that, guys, is because we already talked about the facility where we've taken out all the middlemen. And so the wine basically goes from the field to be bottled and then out to you, which is why we can afford to give you the prices that are given on these fine wines. But be mindful, we are using refrigerated trucks that are taking your wine. I live in Texas. I can assure you my wine is not going to come when it's supposed to come. I don't want it to, because it's too damn hot. I would rather them take their time to make sure they're getting the shipments, it's getting on the truck, then it gets to Texas, and it's only with ups like a minute so that I do get it, because guess what? It is naturally fermented wine. It will go bad. So have a little patience about that.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm gonna cut in here, guys. If you guys ever want to,
you said, shut up, Jackie.
No, you're awesome. But you guys, the refrigerated trucking thing is so mandatory because it is a perishable good, and it's because it's true fine wine. It's, you guys, these wines, like, this is something I don't think people realize. Like, if you know, because we get to educate people that don't know much about wine as well as wine connoisseurs. There's a reason quality bottle of wine that's made the right way goes for hundreds of dollars a bottle. There's a reason. Okay. These bottles, if they were retailed, it'd be $120 easy for these bottles. So, but they're insured. And because they're insured, the carrier doesn't want them to pop. See, when it's too cold, it freezes, cork's going to come out. It's a pressure thing, right? When it's hot, it's going to create gases and it destroys the wine. It actually destroys it when it's too hot. If you take your wine and put it in direct sunlight on your like your windowsill, you will destroy the wine. It's a fact. So
I do want to say, Rory, in here really quick, that you guys, when it goes to UPS, sometimes the bottles do come warm. It is not destroyed though, because I get several issues about that. It's not destroyed because it's just been with UPS for a few hours. Your wine is still good. It's still drinkable. If it's warm, we just tell you to bring it to room temperature first, and then slowly let it come back to temperature and put it back in the refrigerated system.
Actually, and you guys, I want to explain, this is a very delicate process that we had to put into place. Okay. And it wasn't always here. This is why we can do it this year. We couldn't do it years before. The refrigerated trucking, they're licensed to ship that wine, but they're not licensed to deliver the wine, because UPS and FedEx, guys, this isn't alcohol. This is a controlled substance. So the refrigerated trucking, they take it from point A, they pick it up from us, but then it gets in the UPS system and they deliver it to UPS for the last delivery, because it has to be done that way legally. Those last little steps aren't going to harm the wine. It might get there warm. And if it sits on your doorstep, that could be a problematic problem. If it sits there too long or the heat's really hot, we've done everything to protect it. You guys have to understand that they want to ship the wine. They got the bonds to do it. It's a big thing, but we have this insured. So for the few damages that happen, and you know, how you know your wine got damaged? Well, if the cork popped out of the wine, it got too hot, it's damaged, right? They have to cover that cost. They have to replace that wine with us because we paid the right way. And you guys, when we subsidize it, you guys don't see your shipping costs go up. I'm going to tell you, costs for shipping, they're real. And refrigerated shipping costs us even more money. It's not the same, it costs us more. And we just don't want to, we want to protect that wine, right? And you guys got to realize, like, we only made so much in that boutique run. It's not like we can go make a bunch more. It's done. That the inventory's gone. We got to wait for the next one. So it's very valuable to us, and it should be. So we protect it in the shipping, but you know, we do a really good job on our costs. You guys, we are so, you know, we haven't increased our shipping costs once in how many years? And we've been helping, you know, to subsidize it, and we want to make sure that it's a very good value to get to the customer, and hopefully it can, you know, we constantly do that. But just so you guys know, it costs far more to ship it to you than what you're paying for shipping. And we built that in there to make it worthwhile. But if you understand the value of what you're drinking, nothing's like this. We have the most amazing value offer, period. And it's good to understand it, because we pay this information forward as we bring on more customers. But there is no other wine club like us out there. And I always cover there's three types. There's the ones that you get from the winery direct, where you get their seasonal releases. And Tanya and I have been members of these for a long time. We're not currently members of any other one right now because our travel is amazing. You guys know how we can overnight our wine to ourselves. That's one of the biggest perks we have. So you guys, so if we're here for a week or there, when we were in Hawaii, we overnighted it to us. Okay, that's a perk that we get to have in this business for us. And we love our wine so much. We have such a good release of varietals and things coming in there, and we have the awesome problems of, well, that one's done, we'll wait till the next varietal, and that is awesome, right? So, you know, people order their custom cases. I don't know how much of the Ricord's left. We released the Ricord Merlot 2017. It was my private stash. You guys, I was being kind of greedy. We held how many was it? It was like 10
that's
cases.
Gone, you guys. That's all the stash. Just so you know, that's all of it.
Yeah, it
I
is.
wasn't even aware until I saw inventory. I'm like, wait, we have more? What's this?
No, I released it. I was hoarding it, you guys, and I'm not bashful about it. I can do that from time to time. I'm going to hoard some wine. I'm not going to I'm going to tell you, and that 2017 was a very special Merlot. Also, just so you guys know, that was our first Merlot that was ever created. And I'm pretty sure the winemakers were absolutely trying to win us over. That wine is special. Wait till you get the new Merlot. That's literally, we just signed off on the labels. It's coming in the next couple of months. There's another Merlot coming in. And why I'm saying that is if you have a bottle of the 2017, a bottle of the 2020, one or both, you can do a vertical tasting, and you can literally have one of those most amazing meals. Like, you know, you could have like say 6 or 8 people together, 3 bottles of wine or 2, right? The 17, the 2020, and I think this one's either another 2020 or 2021. I can't. I'm trying to think what the date goes on it. I probably could look that up, but guys, they taste so different, but they're literally same winemaker, same farms they're coming from, just different process, right? And this one has a unique taste. I really am so excited about it. We got a lot. This is a big run, but it'll go fast. And you know, and one of the rules I had when we set up this wine business is the Ricord Merlot, because I've always wanted my own label. I've always been a Merlot fan. The Merlot will always be the Ricord label, and we're not going to kick out lots and lots of Merlots because we want the best Merlot, have them focus on it. What we'll kick out, you know, in a more of a bigger pace, are Cabs. You know, Cabs is the #1 red wine. There's a reason. It's so good with so many things, right? And our Cabs don't taste the same. They're all different and unique, and they blend differently with the food. And you know, Tanya and I will we'll look at some of the wines, and it's like, oh, we had the Antonio Cab. Well, we'll pair that with a different thing than we would the Donna Walker Cab. They're totally different wines, and it's really fun. And this is what we get to share with everybody and go through it. But again, guys, we got to protect the value of the wines. And even in part of the things that we set up here, one thing I think that people misunderstand, the bottle's $25, but it's really like 120 if you compare it apples to apples with what's available in the industry or in the marketplace, I guess is the term. And we just wanted to get it to where everybody could afford to have proper food. And our wine is a proper wine, a proper food, and knowledge is everything. And you know, it's one of those things when we're doing our blogs and putting our information out there, educating people that the wine that they think they're drinking as wine isn't wine. People are now getting more and more aware of how they're manipulating the foods and the stuff that's there. More and more people are looking for the right things. We were just ahead of the curve. Because we knew the problem was there. We just got ahead of it, right? We're passionate about it. Things lined up that way. And you guys can remember, those that have been here a long time, we've always been messaging the same thing. We knew our niche. So if we looked at the world and said, well, if we just protect what wine should be, we have a business. That's all we have to do. That's our niche. Be truth in wine. We have a niche. And that's what we're running with, guys. The message hasn't changed. The quality of the wine's awesome, and we just get so excited about actually, you know, each new release. I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna be doing a trip out there again. I've been on with the winemakers. I did a Zoom, kind of going over some stuff. I'm getting, my mouth is starting to salivate because we usually are tasting it from the stainless or from the barrel. Guys, there are so many awesome wines in the production. And some of them, you guys, if you guys ever feel like I'm tormenting you, imagine knowing that the wine's going to be amazing, but they're telling me I got to wait another year. And it happened with that Moscato. And I don't know if you guys, that last Moscato we released, I told everybody how special it was. It took a long time. I don't even know if that lasted a month. It's gone, right? It was gone. And I did not hoard any of that. My mistake. Next time I'll hoard some. But it's, you guys, it's amazing what we have here, and it's just a solid message. And Jackie, huge appreciation, you know, for what you did. Angie, I don't know if you can hear me. I know you're probably with your husband again. I'm gonna share your recipe on the quiche thing. I'm gonna put it out through my channels. Guys, I'm gonna segue for just a second, okay, Jackie? Is that all right? I'm totally
absolutely.
Like, what do you call that?
Absolutely, Rory. Absolutely, we love it.
Tanya, what do you say I do? When I take a conversation, I take it over. What do you say I do? What's that word? Yeah, bamboozling the call. So here goes. I'm going to bamboozle this. And so you guys, I want you guys to see something with Angie's page.
He bamboozles everything. Talking about one thing, and there he goes on a tangent.
So Angie, you are an amazing student and you write amazing. And I was going over this when you put it up and you know, and it's kind of like it's really cool. But you guys, I want you guys to see something on here, right? She has Google AdSense, right? Angie, and you've had it for how long now?
A year.
Okay. And she has these ads that run and you see the stuff that pops up, right? Print recipes, all these things. This is all generating revenue. But the thing that's really fun is I get to go share this. So I'm going to share this on, I'm going to put it on Facebook actually. And then I'm going to show you some other things we're going to do with this. I'm going to go to my Rory Ricord profile.
Green ones to make fried green tomatoes. Yeah.
I'm going to grab this.
So I gave her 2 big air ones about like this that she can make.
So what is out here? Now, when we put links on there, Facebook's really interesting with their algorithms. You know, this should go out to it. And I got a pretty growing audience with this. This is students and more stuff that's on here. But I'll come here on the comment and just put yeah, I'll put that out there. And what's good, so that's out, right? I'm going to share some exposure. We want social media posts as much or traffic as much as possible. It's rated 10-to-1 versus internet traffic for ranking. But you guys, spinach and bacon quiche. I don't know if you like just that's something that has a good propensity to get indexed because recipes are always good. And this you guys, this is something we can do all the time, anytime. And what's great about this for Angie is like this gets some exposure, but if it gets ranked or listed or backlinked or whatever else, she's going to gain revenue from all the eyeballs that come in and everything that's seen there, right? It's a chain reaction of fun. And so it's really good to put that out there and promote it. But even this should be put out and shared in other posts. So I got my classified for free ad that I'm running, and it's here, right? And I'm doing the stuff that I'm doing on with the Trent and the Mitt Romney direction. That's there. I posted this other ad right here, which I was gonna actually didn't post it yet, which means it's gonna time out. Let's see if it didn't. I need a category. Oh, I gotta fix the image. Okay, I'll come back and fix that. Let's see. Okay, I'll come back and fix that. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Oh, what do I do with your hold on. Click on that link again. Come on. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and I can have multiple windows with classifieds for free. I'll go to my ads. I didn't do this earlier. When you haven't posted for a day or hours, whatever else, I just come in here and just renew ads. I'm building this back up. You guys will see I'm at 800. I work on this whenever I can. I used to have like something like 136,000. And I know people have more. And then when they did the rehash on the system, I lost all that. So now it's good to put new ones in. But there's the ones I was doing. I'll put this on here, but I'm going to come in here and post an ad. And I'm going to post an ad for Angie's page. And I can't put a picture on it, which is too bad, but I'll put, you are going. Am I spelling Spanish wrong? That's gonna go US. So see, I'll post that ad. Did I miss something? Said US. Oh,
The airplane people don't want to know about your recipe, brother.
apparently, yeah, apparently, yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. So, I do. I know there's there recipes. Oh, that's what I was looking for earlier. Okay, recipes. It's not going there.
Did you put the link in the description?
Oh, I did. That's what they don't like. I think you're right. I get away with it sometimes is the funny thing. So it's there, and then I'm gonna go every state. I'll put this around the world, right? I'll just keep posting that. So I'm gonna add that to my classifieds for free post, Angie. So whenever I update it, it's gonna go out there. That's how impressed I was with this. And I'll get that done, and I'll just keep adding it. But this is just one place to add. But you guys, it doesn't take that long to do this, right? And I gotta tell you, Angie, let me just ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because I know you work on your stuff a lot, but the fact that it's going to generate revenue because you got Google AdSense, doesn't that change your attitude?
Yes.
And that's the one thing I want you guys to understand. So if you don't have Google AdSense yet and you feel like you're not getting anywhere, just get it done.
Yeah.
Get it done. That's why it's so epic. All right, Angie, carry on with your family. Thank you so much for that. I think I'm gonna go finish posting these ads. You guys can watch me, and then we're gonna go right into. I'll stop the live here in a second. We're gonna go right into theme marketing. I'm actually gonna run it today. So we're gonna go over some really cool things, and you guys, I've been doing a Tuesday series on the 5 steps to basically creating your dreams a reality. And I'm doing it on the Bellavia Tuesday, what they call it, Transformation Tuesdays. It's 10 a.m. Eastern, and it's on the Life Reimagined. I think that's where they put it. They put it on a feed, and I'm on there. It's on the live. It's on the Zoom room. And then they broadcast it out there, but it's the same thing as I'm walking you guys through things. And, you know, I'm gonna bring this up there so everybody understands why we do what we do, why you should be doing this, and what it gives you, right? There's some solid things I live by, right? You know, how bad do you want it? What are you willing to do, right? And obviously, what are you willing to do? It obviously has to be ethical and honest and with integrity, absolutely. But are you willing to prioritize your life to make this happen? How strong are your whys? And as I was preparing the Transformation Tuesdays, I'm doing a series, and it's, guys, this is how we live. And, you know, we accomplished every goal we put forth. Tanya and I will make a goal, and that goal usually is a dream. It'll be typically a dream, you know, but we make it a goal because we're going to give it a deadline. We're going to go achieve it. And we got goals for our relationship. We have goals for our relationship with the kids. We have goals for our triple R247 family, and it's not just, and our goals in all areas of our life. We have our spiritual goals. We have the things that we're working on together, and we also have our individual goals. You know, there's things that Tanya pursues that makes Tanya happy. There's things that I pursue that makes Rory happy, right? And it's a dream, but we just turn them into goals, give them a deadline, and we go execute. And we were, you know, I got this 5-step thing down because it was one of those things I got trained on it so long ago, became part of how it's just like me breathing. I don't think about how I execute it. I just go execute it. And that's what I broke it down to, these 5 steps. I'm going to pull it up. I made different versions of these. Guys haven't seen it, guys. But when I was doing our meditations like we do, and I wrote all this out there, and I started like, I got to share this with everybody, because this is what we do. This is the details. This is how we get things done, right? And the V marketing, that is an action plan with resources all in its own, right? All in its own. And the importance of us having our own PBS running with Google AdSense, so we have the monetization to make, and that's to be fed. And you guys, there is something magical that just happened. All right, and I know because I'm seeing the responses, but the Vortex systems is fully cranking out. We've imported everything from the Grapevine system into the Vortex system. So they're all getting the Savings Highway Global stuff now. So if you guys have people that are just signing up, that's why. Okay. Feed that system. Feed that system. For those of you that don't have the Vortex or aren't feeding it, you probably should do some training on that next week, Jackie, and cover that. But you guys, there is awesomeness that happens with that. But you know, we give you guys paid resources. We pay for the marketing. You guys bring the leads in, and you're going to present to them and do this stuff. But those you can't get a hold of, those that show interest but aren't quite ready, we put them into the follow-up system. And follow-up is the F word. I want to call it the catch-up system. We're going to keep them caught up with things that are going on and keep their interest going. And that's what is done in the Vortex system. And we call it the FMS, or Freedom Marketing System, Vortex. But it is awesome what that really does and how it functions. And so You guys just got to add it there. I'm tweaking the messages all the time. I'm testing things all the time. I got to do that for everybody. You don't need to worry about the copy. You don't need to worry about what's going out there. And I got to change them all the time because we want to get inboxed, and we're paying to play. All right. It's cost money to send every message in the Vortex system because we want deliverable, and that's the world's changed that way, right? They got rid of a lot of bad actors this way. A lot of the scams, the spams, the irreputable businesses aren't able to do it anymore, and they're getting blocked, and they can be blocked because they're not on a registered list, and we are registered, and we're paying to play. And that's why we have the membership fee. You get all the programming in there, and there's 2 levels. One's $14.95, and that's what we call the basics. That's the one that anybody doing V marketing should have, that one, and be filling it up there. And once you have about 200 people in it, you want to go to the unlimited, just because it'll be throttled. The unlimited is unlimited. It's called the advanced. It really should be called unlimited because we're not going to meter anybody. We have some of our awesome instructors, and they're all instructors actually, but they're paving the way, and they're ambassadors, of course, but they're exceeding the limits on the cost, and we're glad to pay those because it means we're partnering with those that are really pushing this out there. And because we're putting very high quality leads in there, it makes a difference too. You know, we generate leads of people that want to make money posting ads online, that want to be part of that, and we get to show them a very awesome process to do so, right? So this is something that you should really get down. It's the 5 steps for a pathway to accomplishing your dreams, right? You state your dream. You got to state it. You got, put it up on a vision board and write it down on a Post-it note, put it on your fridge. What's your dream? Okay. And you do this for every dream. Dreams, right? It's dreams. But you got to state your dreams, state them individually, give your dream a goal, give your goal a deadline, map out an action plan to achieve your goal by the deadline, and apply resources and go into action. V marketing allows you to go into action with resources to meet your deadline. That's what it allows it to do. So we hedge our bets on success. We have our own PBS. I'll go ahead and shut this down so you guys can see me more, but I'm talking with my hands. You have your own PBS. And I know you guys, episode 9, if you ever need a recap on how things run, episode 9, okay? But you have your own PBS. And then as you add to your team, you got their PBSs that are stacked in a binary process, right? Because everything we market together is in a binary payout, everything. Savings Highway Global is in a 3x12, but it's basically the same thing, right? For our purposes, same thing. We're helping them grow their teams, and we get a stack and grow with them. It's all in this amazing ecosystem. And the more we pay it forward and help others, the more we all get in return. And if we're building 2 solid teams, it's sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. And we got to do all that. So the V marketing that I'm going to go into, and I'm going to get set up and start running, this is what we want everybody doing, because if you do that, you can accomplish your dreams. Time is the enemy, right? Time is always ticking. Time doesn't wait for you. It doesn't say, hey, James, congratulations on Google AdSense. We're going to give you a week of free time above somebody else. It doesn't happen that way. If I could give it to you, I would. But that time is ticking, right? And now, and the sooner you get things in place, and the sooner you build a team, the sooner you get advantage of what this offers you, right? So get into action. That's the thing, and you get to leverage the time of the team once you establish the team. And everybody gets to be part of a team. Everybody here is part of a team, but the trick is having 2 teams: the team you're building on and learning how to build, and the team that you go forward as the leader and build. 2 teams, whether it's left or right, doesn't matter. That's just the placement for how we balance things out. And the reason we love binary so much is because it rewards you for going to work and duplicating with others. And it does it in the most efficient way possible. 2 teams, not 4, not 10, 2. 1 team that you're learning on with your support team that brought you in, and the other that you duplicate learning and repeating it and paying it forward on the other side. And then you just balance out the 2 sides, build volume on both. The more ambassadors and instructors you develop, and the more customers we develop and all the things, the more we all get paid. It is that simple, right? And everybody's got to get going. And I'll state this: nobody starts out being amazing. Nobody. Everybody gets there by practice, right? Practice by doing. Practice makes progress. We go from sucking at it, because we all start to suck, to sucking a little less, to sucking a little less, to becoming, okay, we're good, we're decent. And then we get gooder and even more gooder, right? And then we get better and better and better. And after you got your expertise of hours and time in, you're very proficient on it, and you're making incredible money and helping a lot of people. And that's the path it's going to be. And you just got, one of my favorite quotes I like to repeat is, you don't start out great, but you got to get started to become great. And it's so true. And this is so forgiving, what we do. If you mess up, no one even knows if you messed up really anyway, but if you do, just get better the next one. Tanya and I fund the marketing, and I've had a lot of people that are like, I don't want to waste your marketing because I know it's expensive and I'm not going to be really good at it. You know what? We know you're not going to be good at it. We planned on that in the whole business plan. We also know that if you do it, you're going to get better and better at it. We banked on that. We've already gambled on your success. So just show up. We already know it. We got the foresight. We got the experience. We know that's how it works. Okay. I'm going to get set up here. I'm going to stop this recording here and stop the live stream. But those of you that are watching us on YouTube, Beam Marketing, we don't broadcast on YouTube. One, we're showing databases, so they won't let us. Two, we want you here live to see this or get with your instructor to see it, but this is how you create amazing lifestyles. All right. God bless everyone. Hang on. I'll be getting this set up. And if you're watching this on YouTube,